Well, I think there's really interesting lessons from the past. One of the things that we do in soccer is we tend to either ignore the past totally, or we tend to sort of romanticize it and mythologize what it was. I think, in my view, there is some interesting lessons that we can learn about how a club should be structured, for example, how a league should be structured, how we should have things like grand finals, whether the season should be played in winter or summer. These are some of the things that, if we look to the past, we see some really interesting discussions and also some changes that have been made to the Australian National League.
When you talk about the past, there's a lot of good there, there's a lot of bad, but you never stop learning. I've always maintained that in life you remain humble because you'll never stop learning. The day we think we know it all is the day to give it away. So these events are really important, and the PFA has been doing a fantastic job for the last 20 odd years or so.
I was always very interested in the story of Australian soccer, and I think that the story of Australian soccer expresses a richer Australia than perhaps we get told in other parts of life. And obviously when you say that, you immediately talk about multiculturalism. So soccer tells you a story about Australian multiculturalism that perhaps doesn't really get a look in.
To have people like Ron Smith and Andrew Howe and Roy Hay, who have given their lives to the sport, guys like Frank Farina, Craig Johnson, come in, share their experiences. It's great to have that old history of the game discussed, raised, and hopefully people can walk away not only with some lessons, but with deeper relationships and a greater empathy for what people in the game are currently grappling with.
These events are invaluable in terms of taking the game forward, but also catching up with people from the past and ones that are here now in the present. So it's good to get together and bounce ideas off each other and try and make sure that going forward we can just continue to improve the game.
One of the best parts of football is the opportunity to bring people together, and whenever you do that, you just see how rich and how diverse and how eclectic the football community is, and how vast and how wide and how broad their experiences are. And that's something I really love about days like this.